Good morning and welcome to Live from FM 91, conversation and performance with some of the area's finest musicians and visiting guest artists. Coming to you from WGTE's Dana Performance Studio, I'm Brad Cresswell. We just heard music of Johann Sebastian Bach, a trumpet fugue, which was the perfect fanfare to announce that the Tower Brass is in the studio giving their annual Christmas holiday show here on WGTE. I've got David Sagers from the group here, who is the tuba player as well as the all-around factotum. You're a composer, you're a performer, you're an arranger, David. Thanks for joining us once again here on FM 91.
Man, it's great to be here, Brad.
Yeah, I mean, you've been coming here and playing holiday music for us every year for like the past 40 years, it feels like. I mean, the group itself is just over 40 years old, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And we've had many appearances here and enjoyed all of them.
Yeah. Well, we are rebroadcasting the special for television that you did last year. That is happening again. You can find information about it on our website at wgte.org. You, David, with the group, the Tower Brass, you've also got some Christmas concerts coming up. We'll talk about that. And we also have some new members of Tower Brass, and we'll talk about that as well. But first, as they say, there's more music on the way. What are we going to hear now? This is from Messiah, right?
Yeah, this is a favorite of ours from the Messiah by George Frederick Handel, For Unto Us a Child is Born.
The Tower Brass here on Live from FM 91. The Tower Brass Quintet performing on Live from FM 91. That was a familiar tune from George Frederick Handel's Messiah. We heard For Unto Us a Child is Born. I'm Brad Cresswell. Here in the studio with me right now is David Sagers, who is the tuba player and the all-around arranger for the Tower Brass Quintet. You have some new members of the group, right?
We do.
You had a few people who have retired.
That's
as
right.
well. You want to introduce the new members for us?
I would love to. First, Charles Sines is not a new member. He and I have been playing together now in the quintet for nearly 20 years, and we were very lucky to have a long run with our recently retired members, Dan and Brian and Bernice. But now we are introducing some new members.
Yeah.
Alex Sanzo is another of the trumpet players. And we also have Andrew Pelletier on horn and Brittany Lash on trombone. And it's really exciting. These are such great players. It's really fun.
Well, I was going to say, it's not like you just went slumming looking for folks to come in. You got some high-profile performers to join the group. So, and you know, the proof is in the pudding, as they say. The sound of the quintet is just as wonderful as ever. So, congratulations to you on that. I know you've got some Christmas concerts coming up. If folks want to stay in touch, can they still go to your website and find that information? Tell us how they can do that.
Yeah, towerbrassquintet.com. Still recordings of the group available, and you can check out our activities going on. You can also find us on Facebook. Excellent.
Now, you have 3 pieces here, a Christmas suite. You want to tell us what these pieces are?
Yeah, we'll start with a kind of mellow piece. Wexford Carol is a traditional Irish melody and kind of a somber setting. We'll go right into upbeat Gloucestershire wassail song, a traditional English
drinking song.
Yeah, that's right.
Anything that has wassail in the title is
right.
Definitely a drinking song.
And that's a really fun one. And then we'll end that set with I Heard the Bells on Christmas Eve, originally a poem by Longfellow. A really great setting by great arranger Lenny Niehaus.
Nice. The Tower Brass Quintet performing here on Live from FM 91. A Christmas suite, 3 different pieces, a traditional Irish work, a traditional English work, and then another work which uses the poetry of Longfellow. Although we didn't actually hear the words today, we heard the glorious music as performed by the Tower Brass Quintet. They are my guests today here on FM 91. The suite that we heard consisted of the Wexford Carol, the Gloucestershire Wassail, and I Heard the Bells, familiar melody there. The tubist of the group is David Sagers, and David is here with me, and David has helped to introduce new members of the Tower Brass, as well as introduce the music that we're hearing today. And now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the other activities that you're doing, your public appearances. You got a couple of concerts coming up in December. You want to tell us about those, David?
Absolutely, and we hope that our audience will be joining us on December 10th at St. Michael's in the Hills in Ottawa Hills at 7:30 in the evening. That's on December 10th.
Okay.
A return. I think our last live concert was there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So we're really excited to be playing live again there in Ottawa Hills. And then on December 10th, we're at the First United Methodist Church at 3 p.m.
December 12th, right?
Sorry, yeah, December 12th in Norwalk, Ohio.
Okay, great. So December 10th at St. Michael's in the Hills and December 12th at First United Methodist Church in Norwalk. So folks can find those dates as well if they connect with you on Facebook or they connect with your website. The safest thing to do is to go out and do a search for Tower Brass Quintet, on the internet, and you'll find different ways that they can get whatever information they need.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we've got one last little group of Christmas favorites, including one of your perennial arrangements there, David, that I love it when you guys play this. Although it's so great to hear, the new ensemble perform some of the works that we've heard before. But why don't you introduce these three for us, and then we'll hear the music.
Well, we're going to begin with It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas. That's a Meredith Willson song arranged by one of our favorite arrangers, Gary Schlechter. And then we're going to do White Christmas, and this is a really great transcription of Ella Fitzgerald's recording of it. And I'm sad to say, take credit for it. This is by Dan Sagers, my brother, the former trombone player of the group.
Well, he's not here, so.
Yeah, I could have taken credit. I often take credit for his work.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish out with a familiar tune that almost needs no introduction. We'll call it Sleigh Ride.
Excellent. The Tower Brass Quintet here performing on Live from FM 91. Three works wrapping up our Tower Brass Quintet appearance this morning on Live from FM 91. Their sort of Christmas spectacular that we've had every year for many years now, and Tower Brass coming back in a new configuration, but still sounding fantastic as ever. We heard It's Beginning to Look a Lot Like Christmas of Meredith Wilson, Gary Schlechter's arrangement. Then we heard White Christmas by Irving Berlin, which was arranged by Daniel Sagers, who used to be the trombone player in the group, but he has since retired. And his brother David is here with me, I should mention. David also does a lot of arranging for the group, but as you mentioned, your brother did this one, so we'll give him the credit for that. And finishing up there with the favorite, heard this time of year, Sleigh Ride by Leroy Anderson. David Sagers, thank you for joining me, and we look forward to your concerts. There's a concert on December 10th at St. Michael's in the Hills at 7:30 p.m. Also a concert on December 12th, First United Methodist Church, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. That's in Norwalk, Ohio. Great opportunity for people to come out, see you guys live, see the new members that we talked about that have come and joined the ensemble, and best of all, it's great having you guys come in here and play in our studios today for the listening audience. So thank you so much, David. It's great to see you.
Well, it's great to be here, and thanks for having us.
You've been listening to Live from FM 91. Our production mixer is Chris Pfeiffer, and I'm your host and producer, Brad Cresswell. Thanks for joining us today here on your public radio station, FM 91.